Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Blackbird Bulletin. I'm Kyle Turner with LIUathletics.com. We're here today at LIU Field as our spring sports kickoff conference play. We have all the highlights and updates for you, so let's get to it.
We start with the baseball team's league opening series against cross-pro rival Wagner. After falling to the Seahawks on Friday, the Blackbirds showed mental toughness and battled back in the bottom of the 7th inning of Game 1 on Saturday. The comeback effort culminated in a walk-off grand slam from senior Kevin Needham that gave the Blackbirds a 7-3 victory. LIU Brooklyn dropped the second game of the Twin Bill but came back with a vengeance on Sunday to wrap up the series with a dominant 11-1 victory. Senior Pete Leonello opened up the scoring with his first home run of the season, and the Blackbirds turned a couple of key double plays, helping freshman pitcher Bobby Maxwell pick up the complete game win. Senior John Cisniewski paced the Blackbirds offensively, going 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and 4 RBIs.
Senior shortstop John Cisniewski was named the NEC Player of the Week. Cisniewski averaged 2 hits and 2 RBIs per game in 5 contests for the Blackbirds last week. The senior had a batting average of .611 with 11 runs batted in and 6 runs scored for LIU Brooklyn. Freshman pitcher Bobby Maxwell was named the NEC Co-Rookie of the Week. Maxwell pitched the Blackbirds to an 11-1 victory in Sunday's series finale against Wagner, giving up just 4 hits and 1 earned run while striking out 4 batters.
The softball team opened up NEC play on the road, and on Saturday it was a rematch of the 2013 NEC Championship as the Blackbirds took on the Blue Devils of Central Connecticut. In Game 1, the Blackbirds got a tremendous performance from senior Cassie Vondrak, who gave up just 5 hits and 2 walks while striking out 6 batters to earn the complete game shutout. Graduate Jasmine Rodriguez had 2 RBIs for the Blackbirds, including a solo home run in the top of the 6th inning as LIU Brooklyn took Game 1 4-0. In Game 2, it was much closer, but the Blackbirds got the same result, a W. 4 different batters had an RBI in the game, including the game winner in the 8th inning by sophomore Alyssa Gospodarek, that lifted LIU to a 4-3 victory and a sweep of the defending NEC champion. Then on Sunday, it was a doubleheader against the Bryant Bulldogs. This was tough for the Blackbirds as they dropped both games to the Bulldogs, falling to 2-2 in conference play. The lacrosse team took a trip through western Pennsylvania for matches against St. Francis U and Robert Morris. The Blackbirds took the Red Flash to double overtime on Friday but fell short, dropping the contest by a final score of 10-9. 4 Blackbirds had 2 goals each. Freshman Jen Peters registered a game-high 12 shots, and sophomore Alexis Maldonado had 11 saves in the game. Next it was the Colonials. Jen Peters scored 4 goals in this game, but it was not enough as the Blackbirds fell to the Colonials 16-9. The women's tennis team traveled to Staten Island on Saturday for a match with Wagner. The Blackbirds took care of business, sweeping the Seahawks 7-0. No Blackbird lost a set in singles, and as a team lost just 10 games all match, improving to 2-1 in conference play. The Blackbirds then took on Albany at the USTA National Tennis Center on Sunday. Junior Sana Lowers won in straight sets in number 1 singles, 6-love and 6-2. And freshman Maureen Dons also picked up a win, but the Blackbirds were defeated 5-2. The women's golf team competed in the Pirate Invitational this past weekend and overcame windy conditions to earn another top 10 finish. Junior Brianna Maynard led the Blackbirds to a tie for 8th place with Rutgers. Maynard also concluded the tournament in 8th place individually and carded a team best 76 on Sunday. The track and field teams competed at the Florida Relays in Gainesville, Florida over the weekend. On the men's side, sophomore Micah Jonathan Petit Home finished 11th in the 400-meter hurdles with a time of 51.52. Petit Home's time was the 6th fastest in the East region this season. Junior Brendan Rodney placed 12th in the invitation-only 200-meter dash event, finishing in a time of 20.76, good for 10th in the East region. Junior Kamara Lewis finished 8th place in the high jump. The 2014 NEC Indoor Champion jumped at a height of 2.06 meters. On the women's side, 2014 NEC Indoor Champion Junior Katrina Anderson competed in the 800-meter dash, finishing with a time of 2:10.33. And here's a look at what's ahead for LIU Athletics in the next week. The softball team is home all week as they take on St. John's in a non-league game, then host doubleheaders against NEC foes Robert Morris and St. Francis U. Women's lacrosse looks to extend its home winning streak with Northeast Conference contests against Wagner and Mount St. Mary's. The baseball team hits the road midweek for a game against Iona, then treks to Emmitsburg for a 4-game series with the Mount.
The tennis team takes on St. Francis Brooklyn and Fordham.
And the track and field squads will be in Virginia for the George Mason Invitational. Men's golf finishes up play at the Seahawks Spring Invitational early this week, and the women's golf team competes in the Brown Bear Invitational. For a look at the spring schedule for the rest of April, please visit liuathletics.com.
That's all we have for you on this edition of the Blackbird Bulletin. We'll be back next time with more spring sports news and highlights. I'm Kyle Turner with liuathletics.com. Keep flying high.